let's do this. This is going to be interesting and informative and intuitive and educational. Hi, I'm Steve from 123 3D. Today we're going to talk about Lightweight PLA, own brand. So yes, we do stock and sell our own brand of Lightweight PLA, and it does foam. It is not the pre-foamed Lightweight PLA. This one is basically actively foaming when you extrude it from the nozzle. So without further ado, we will dive straight in. We've had this now in stock for quite a while. I'm going to estimate around about the 2-year sort of mark. We have extensively tested it, and I have compared it to other leading lightweight PLA brands, i.e. Colourfab, and I can confirm that this, when printed correctly with the correct profile, is exactly the same weight as Colourfab in its finished printed state. But I will talk you through the technology behind the premise. So basically what you get is a material on a spool that looks like any other filament. The beauty with lightweight PLA is once you actually start to extrude it under heat, it will actually foam. So it will basically create very, very small air pockets in the actual print layers, like an aero. Look at it like an aero, your favourite chocolate bar, thus giving you a lighter appearance and lighter weight. Now, this does come with a bit of a downside. Lightweight PLA is not strong in any way, shape or form. It will absolutely hold its own form, as you can see. We've done a couple of examples and I will demonstrate one of them to you. So I've printed out, well, I haven't, I got Dan to. We printed out 2 benches. Now, the reason we printed 2 is because I want to compare weight and weight for a PLA, standard PLA benchy and a lightweight PLA benchy, so you guys can actually see the weight difference between the 2 models. But more importantly, Chris thought it'd be a good idea to actually demonstrate how delicate the material can be. So, typical benchy. Can't even break it. Dan, what have you done? I have. So, as you can see, and he's printed this quite thick actually, so he's printed it with multiple walls. I can see 4 walls. So looking inside there, you can actually see where it's foamed up and whatever else. For lightweight, you're not going to be printing 4 walls typically. This filament is predominantly used in the RC plane hobby. We have seen certain applications where people have also adopted it for RC car bodies because you want something quite lightweight to obviously keep the weight down so your speed is not affected. And they're all typically 1 wall, 2 walls. Some instances, the people who design the print files for actual RC planes, they will give you a full print profile. In the majority of cases, they are printed in base mode, so single wall, constant extrusion. This is actual part of a fuselage from a Fly Tory model that I've purchased, which we are building long term. And this is a bit of a different premise. So there is 2 walls and we do have a percentage of infill because, as you can see, the fuselage is quite thick, and if you was to print this just 1 wall thick in vast mode, it wouldn't give you the same structure as this printed part. Sorry to interrupt, I'm Steve from the future. Just to let you guys know, we do have a website to fulfill all of your 123 3D printing needs. So if you haven't done so already, please do check out the link in the description where you can have a browse across our whole product range. And if you're outside the UK, please don't forget to check out our sister stores. We have these based in the Netherlands, in Ireland, and also in Sweden. Back to the video. You can add heat inserts, not a problem. It acts very, very similar to normal PLA. So basically you use your brass inserts with the heated tool. They will melt and fuse into place, so you can then screw screws into it just like you can with normal PLA, albeit the weight is drastically reduced. It is not at all heavy. Due to the way that it's constructed, they've modelled in little reinforcement ribs and whatever else. So there are ways to beef up certain portions of the print to give you the actual strength that you do require. Here, on the other hand, we have a part of an RC car body. So as you can see, the file has been designed with these little keys, I'm going to call them. What they are, basically little holes that are recessed in there so that you can actually then cut your filament, pop filament through and use the filament like a dowel, so you can align everything when you glue it all together. And as you can see, very, very flexible, extremely lightweight, but if you crash it, it's going to be toast. You're not going to be able to reuse it or repair it, so you just have to print out a new part. The key principles. So for lightweight PLA, to get the actual foaming to the consistency that you actually require to maintain a very, very high weight ratio, you need to make sure that you've got your nozzle temperature dialed in perfectly for your printer and slow down your print speed. The slowing down of the print speed is probably more critical than the actual nozzle temperature, because if you don't slow down your print speed and you typically print at 300 millimeters a second, when the layers go over each other, you're not giving the material enough time to actively foam up, so you won't really notice any benefits to printing. We found that around 50 to 75 millimeters a second seems to be our sweet spot on a Century carbon. That allows for for the most amount of foaming before you get to the point where it's sponge and it's got pretty much no integrity after that point. That's what we found the sweet spot to be. The temperature range will vary from printer to printer, but typically the only settings that you're going to have to really change are your speed, the temperature, your actual flow, and also your retraction, because as most of us are fully aware, one of the downsides to lightweight PLA, unless you've got a really well-tuned profile, is stringing. It's just the nature of the material, because it's constantly foaming as it comes out of the nozzle. Whenever it makes a travel movement, you will end up with stringing, but it is really easy to clean off. I mean, this in it, you can literally just rub it and it removes all of the major parts from your print. If you wanted to get an even better finish than that, there's nothing stopping you from lightly sanding it to get it all off. I've seen people spray paint it and whatever else just to give it a nice finish once they've got the full model assembled. But ultimately, a lot of people in the RC plane industry use this material because it is the best option between the old school foam board type RC planes that we used to make to a 3D printed equivalent. And provided you don't crash it, it will last very well. I've seen some absolutely amazing flights from this plane itself, albeit this is not the full plane. The guy who designs the files, he actually did a test flight over 50 kilometers with this model, so it can hold up to that. It is very durable in those applications. You do add reinforcement like carbon fiber tubes into the wings or whatever to stop any flex, but predominantly the lightweight part is critical, because if you've got a heavy plane, you ain't getting it in the air. Or if you do get it in the air, it's coming down very quickly. That isn't going to end well. RC car bodies, yes, I can see that this would be beneficial to a lot of enthusiasts. If you haven't got access to a vacuum forming machine to make big Lexan bodies like you typically go to a hobby shop and buy, you can absolutely 3D print these also in lightweight PLA. And it doesn't really appear, in my opinion, to be a lot thicker than like a vacuum form body shell. You can absolutely sand it down, paint it, put stickers on it, do whatever you want, customize it to however you see fit. And I will now move on and give you a bit of an insight into the weight saving. I have my scales on and I am at 0. We will first start off with the standard PLA benchy, and that is measuring, it's not measuring anything, it's weighing 11 grams. So typical benchy, standard PLA, 11 grams. Lightweight benchy, printed with exactly the same amount of walls, infill and all of that jazz, 5 grams! Less than half the weight. There, proof is in the pudding. Exactly the same. This is half the amount of weight that a standard benchy is in normal PLA filament. So again, very niche type of filament for a certain application. I've spoken to kids that do a lot of STEM racing and whatever else, and they've actually started to use lightweight PLA on their STEM race cars because they realised that if you can limit the amount of weight that you put into a model that is being powered by an electric motor, it's going to go faster because it's got less weight to carry. So makes sense. It is available in a range of colours. We will leave links to those in the description, and we will also put all of our printing parameters in the description. These will only be useful as a rough guide starting point because, as I say, it will depend on printer to printer. It won't work faultlessly across the board, albeit it will get you started, so you can make tweaks if you need to. We have had a couple of customers that have used it and are used to using colour fab and whatever else. The print profile is slightly different, so it won't work on a generic normal lightweight profile for colour fab. As I say, it is our own brand. We will leave our profile in the description, and if you've got any questions about this material, please do drop it in the comments box below. Or if you know of any other applications that you may use lightweight PLA for, please let me know. There are other variants of this as well. We have lightweight ASA, although we don't have that in own brand, but I do know that colour fab make that and we do stock that as well, which is slightly stronger and more heat resistant. So yes, I will explain. Chris made a good point. How much is on a spool? So I can tell you these spools are available in 1 kilogram spools. So yes, that is a kilogram of unfoamed material. Think about this, you're getting pretty much a spool and a half for the price of a spool. It's free real estate. If that's not a major selling point, I don't know what is. If you like anything that I've spoken about in the video, please don't forget to like, subscribe and share, because sharing is ultimately caring. And if you haven't done already, please don't forget to like, subscribe and share. That's it from me on this one. I'm out.